Hey everybody, welcome back to the Black and Healthy podcast. My name is Jasmine Gillum. I am your host and the owner of Black and Healthy. And today I have two lovely guests with me today. That would be Joel and Lissa Buckmire. But before we get into our episode today, make sure that you subscribe to the Black and Healthy podcast on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. You can also connect with us on social media, on our Instagram and Facebook platforms. And also check out our website at www.blackandhealthy.com. And make sure that you check out the Black and Healthy Community Directory and the community calendar. So, before we get into this, y'all, get you a pen, get you some paper because you're going to need it. Get you your favorite beverage, favorite snack, and enjoy this episode. If you need to take a break, want to do some research, you can always come back and learn some more. So, welcome to the podcast, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here.
Yes,
and let's let the people know who you are.
All right. Well, as you mentioned before, and your introduction, I love that. But this is Joel Buckmire, CEO and co-CEO of the Storehouse Firm, Financial Literacy Academy and Business Academy. I've been with this company and then our company for almost 5 or 6 years now. So, yes, and with me is my lovely wife.
Yes.
So I'm Lissa Buckmire, co-CEO of Storehouse Firm. And yeah, we've been in this business now for about 6 years, rocking it as a team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So my first question is how did you get into doing this in the first place?
Okay, well, I'm gonna blame Lisa on this. Okay? For this. You know, we were two military folks. So I mean, I'm military and military spouse. We were stationed in Miami, Florida. We had already started our own business. We had Live Fit Total Wellness Experience. It was our fitness company where we were teaching families nutrition, going on Facebook Live and working with them to just get better habits of eating and exercise. And we would do it on camera as a family. But Lisa got an opportunity to sit in on a couple seminars with her sister-in-law, with my sister-in-law, her sister in Canada. And, you know, she got me to listen in, and I was very reluctant. I was in front of her computer like, girl, what you doing? What do we want to do? And, man, it started turning into us finding out that we didn't know enough about our finances. Like, we knew our individual situation, but we didn't know how to do it collectively. And so she started us working on getting our license and then going from licensing to investments. And that moved us from Miami to New York, and then New York getting out of the Army and coming back home. But we just took what we learned in the fitness industry and moved into the finance side of the process. But I got to big up Lisa for helping us do that because it turned the trajectory of our whole space as a family and a family business. So
Yeah.
So
for you, like, what was that start for you, like that click? You was like, you know what? Let me look into this a little bit more.
At first, I really just wanted to get a better handle on our finances. Like we had a new baby, and I had stopped working. Like Joel said, we had just started our fitness business because I was like, I'm losing this mom bod, you know. And so at first, it wasn't to be a business. It was just for us to get a handle on our finances. And then I was like, this is really interesting. I don't know a lot of this stuff. So how do I learn this stuff? And then how can I teach it to like other people that don't know? Because I realized then a lot of us don't know none of this.
Yeah, agreed. Well, that's amazing. So when you were learning all of this, like what was something that stood out to you the most on the journey? Like the top, like number one thing you was like, I don't know how to deal with this.
Yeah, so surprisingly, like I feel like we've always thought that, like, especially when it comes to investments, that you had to be wealthy or like you have to have a certain amount of income.
Yeah.
You know, and so like, you know, we always did like the things that our jobs offered us, but that was the basis of our knowledge. Like we didn't know all these other things exist, and we didn't know that we could do it with maybe just like $50 here, $50 there.
Yeah.
You know, because those aren't things that are taught to us.
Right.
So I think that was one of the biggest takeaways for me, that, okay, so real normal people like me really can do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak to that too, because our family dynamic is different. Like, we're a blended family. Lisa's from Jamaica. My family's from Trinidad, but by way of the U.S. So she has Canadian experience. I've got U.S. experience. We got Caribbean experience. And if you know anything about that, Caribbean parents don't speak about money. They don't talk about money. Stay at a child's place. So us not knowing is like, we identify with all families who didn't know about investments, or they would say stuff, don't give them people your money.
Yeah.
And if you hear that enough, when you become an adult and you haven't had exposure to it, I think that was my biggest like aha moment. It's like, we don't have to do what they did. Even if they had success.
Right.
We don't have to do it the way they did it. And then it's something we should be changing the language about our kids too as well. So that was I'm glad you mentioned that, like, we didn't know it. And now it wasn't our fault. It was more like, culturally, who did know it?
Exactly.
So,
and that's one of the things that I've had conversations about, which is why we have the Black and Healthy podcast, is because a lot of our families, generation after generation, have not been able to learn these things, especially through your family. And so the point of this podcast is to start from a beginner's perspective, right? No question is silly at all, because we're all trying to figure this out. You know, I think we've had the most access that we have ever had before. And so in that, on this platform, there is where grace comes in for us to have these conversations, to sit down, to explain for people that look like us as representation, because that's important.
Yeah.
Because we get it and we're like, oh, what does this mean?
Right.
I've never heard this before. If I heard this is what I thought it was, to then learn like, so there's a little bit more to this.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so that's what I love about y'all, is that one, you Black. Let's start there.
That's good.
2, you are a family. Right? And then 3, you've also been a part of the journey of being like the military, and also 2 of like traveling as well, which I think that is a common ground for a lot of people. In every way, whether you have a family or you're a single individual, right? So with that being said, let's start with what exactly you are certified in.
Okay. All right. Well, both of us are what you would consider registered representatives, but I'm just breaking that all the way down. We had to take a certain amount of state level tests and a certain amount of federal tests. One of them being your life insurance license. So we're both life licensed, estate planning, so we can work on someone's will, deeds, living trusts and things of that nature. We can do that. But we took it a step forward because that access to wealth is in the market. But we're not a JP Morgan, we're not a Raymond James, Edward Jones, who require you to have 100K to even have a conversation. We're investment representatives that can start with $25 and let people access investing the market. So we're able to walk them through budget. We can talk to them through credit if necessary. Lisa does a lot with debt elimination and budgeting, and I'll work through the investment process and estate plan. So there's 2 tests you take. First, your life license exam, and then you take the SIE, Securities Investment Essentials exam. That's the doorknob to the door, right? Once you're certified there, you get a credentialed number, CRD number, that allows you to take another exam, the Series 6, so you can talk through and open up mutual funds. And then the state version of that, which allows me to walk the state to state, is the Series 63. So all 3 of those exams we had to take, and I failed my SIE 5 times.
Really?
5 times.
I passed the first time.
Yes.
Okay.
She definitely. But let me tell you what's so great about that, though, is that we took my last test and her first test together. So we passed at the same time.
Oh, that's great.
So in our company, like our oversight and those who are like our principals, we're the first in the company, husband and wife duo, to go and pass that exam at the same time.
Yeah.
So we both have a Series 6 in the SIE. She covered Florida because she had a Florida state license. And then because of the expansion, I started up and down the East Coast and everywhere I was ever stationed. So that's how you start in this industry. You have to take the exams. What I will tell you about that is that you don't need a high school diploma. You can have a GED or high school equivalency to do this. So there's no formal college. You don't need that for your life insurance license or the rest of these. Just a decent, clean background check and a willingness to want to help people. And you got to study financial terms for at least 6 good months to get this test down. But the doors it opens is so amazing. So amazing.
And I love that you said that you don't have to have like a college degree. Right. Because I think sometimes, especially in like a small town or something like that, you think that you are limited to this lifestyle. Right. Or even in your family, right? If you see your family members working in this one particular area, you then adapt to that lifestyle. But the reality of it is, it's like hearing from you, it's like, you have another option to take, especially if you're good with numbers.
Absolutely.
That ain't me. But there are individuals that are. And so I love that you show that for people to know, like, hey, you can do this without that.
Absolutely.
And then I heard that Lissa, you covered debt and what was the other thing?
So debt and budgeting really are my, those are my favorite things to attack. Now we can both do the same thing. It's just that's just my passion for some reason, just because I've been through the whole process of, from when I was a single parent. Having to get myself out of debt and managing a budget on next to nothing.
Yes.
And so I like helping, especially other moms and other women, just because we naturally take the financial lead anyway. So I like helping. Like that's just my passion. In that part when it comes to our business and our partnership.
Yeah, and that's where I am in my journey right now of figuring out how to build a stronger foundation for my finances, because I'm in debt. Student loans. Y'all aren't gonna get me. You're not gonna get me. I rebuke it. I refuse. But then also budgeting, right? And just doing better with that as a single woman, because this is a different generation, right? Being a single person, you got to figure out a lot more things.
Yes.
And with for my family, for example, like my parents, they got married when they were like 26, I think, 26, 27, 25, somewhere in there. And so when they look at me, who's in my mid 30s now, who is single, I'm not married, and I'm still figuring it out on my own, like this is like, whoa, this is a lot, because they had a, 2-person household.
Right.
So as they're seeing me, I have to remind them, especially like my mom, I'm like, look, I'm still trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, thankfully, I don't have kids where I have to figure that out and then myself. I'm like, I'm the baby. Right? I'm taking care of the baby here. And so I think a lot of people would be able to benefit from learning all the different variations of financial literacy, because everybody needs it.
Absolutely.
Everybody has some form of a goal that they're trying to get out of, or they're just trying to increase on. And I think, what you all do, especially here, would be very beneficial. And so let's tap into that. What demographics do you work with currently?
So we work with all demographics. And the reason we do that is because we have such a varying demographic in our own family. And then we're the 2 oldest in our family.
I know, right?
So there's that. We've taken care of our parents and kids
Yeah.
and siblings, and then somehow, some way, adults can come into us asking us questions. So, and then their kids will find out what we do. And so,
Mhm.
I mean, is any listener from 5 on up,
Yeah.
we can work them through maybe a workshop, a
Mhm.
one-on-one subset. But you mentioned something in the demographic that stands out because you said it is single people.
Mhm.
I think a lot of single folks think they have to have it figured out. And you
Mhm.
do not. You
Right.
what the first step when we speak to single folks is change your thoughts about money.
Mhm.
That money is a tool first.
Yes.
And so not having kids and not being married shouldn't stop you from making your money make money for you.
Mhm.
Right now you can focus a little bit more because you don't have anybody depending on you but you.
Right.
But it's also harder because it is all you.
Right.
So once you start thinking that money's a tool,
Mhm.
you won't feel so emotional about spending. You'll be okay taking those trips because you've covered your bases.
Right.
You'll have fun splurging because your debt process is done and you got your 401k or your retirement stuff set up.
Mhm.
And your budget won't be based on what you can't do,
Right.
but it'll be based on the goals you set for yourself. And
Right.
and for single folks, I will tell you, the person you meet needs to be that way too.
Exactly.
That part.
All right, or at least be willing to take a
Yes.
course and
Yeah.
learn it, because we say this all the time: single, married, it's not how much money you make; it's what you keep.
Yeah.
Things will continue to keep going up, and if you're on swiper mode like I was,
Mhm.
I was high level swiper. She was high level saver, but I wasn't doing it just to do it. I thought I needed to pass money on and help people out.
Mhm.
But it was keeping the money that builds the asset, the wealth, and allows your money to be a tool and unemotional.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I'm at the point, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, the older you get, the stakes become higher.
Yes, indeed.
Right? And I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I still want to travel,
Mhm.
right? So I'm like, okay, I got to live my life and travel. So kids are out right now. The government is like, y'all are having babies. And it's like, well, why would you think I would have a baby due to the circumstances of what we're living in right now? That just doesn't make any sense to me and a lot of other people, right? So it's like, yeah, no, I can't even get a house right now. Why would you think I would not be able to get a house? But yeah, I'm going to create a kid.
Right.
Not
That
mathing.
part.
Now, I'm not good at math, but I know that does not math,
That don't
right?
at all.
Right. And so I want to ask you, so Joel said that you were the saver and he was the swiper. So when you were dating, right, and you as a saver, like, what was that like for you?
So the crazy thing is, and I think a lot of married people and people when they're dating, they don't have this conversation, and we didn't have it. We did not have a money conversation, right? So after we got married, and we are one of those couples that we combine our finances. We don't keep, because if we're gonna grow together, our money has to grow together too. But we never had that conversation, so we would butt heads, because I'm like, what is that? Why is Apple Pay on here again? Like, what is all this, right?
Yeah.
And his rebuttal would be like, but and I'm like, no, we don't. No. So we had to get to a point where we could, without the emotions, talk through the money process.
Yeah.
And me try to understand, okay, what does it mean for you to be swiping? Like, what are you really doing?
Yeah.
And then for him to understand why I needed to see a certain number in the account.
Yeah.
Because the crazy thing is, we both came from households that were headed by moms, right? And we saw struggle and, financially, but then what's the word I'm looking for? Like, we both,
Like our parallels were.
yes.
Were
So we handled the
different
struggles that we
outcomes.
saw different. For him, he spent. Because it was like, and I'm not speaking for him, just from the conversations I have, it's like, well, we were lacking here, so now I can afford it. Whereas
You're making up for that.
Yes.
Yes.
Where I saw this, I did the opposite,
Yes.
right? We were lacking here, so I
Yes.
need to make sure we have it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
So we did butt heads a lot at first, but then we had to learn to, walk through those conversations and try to understand what it meant for each of us. And then once all that was on the table, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Stop it.
Yeah.
I get it.
yeah.
And at some point in a relationship, married or not, like if someone is right, especially in like a financial situation, Like, you gotta let them take the lead on that, because it's only
Right.
to help. We might have been upset. I might have been upset about it, but I know she wasn't trying to attack me.
Right.
And so when we talk to families about the emotions around money, the first thing we're asking them is like, when you feel you're in a pinch, what happens to emotionally? Are you stressed? Are you breaking out? Are you sweating? Are you talking a mile a minute? Are you sad? Do you just sleep? You know, what happens to you? You got to find those triggers. Sometimes it's who's talking to you about it. So
That part.
now she's telling me stop with Apple Pay, and I'm like, no, girl, this was helping us put the music on the fitness business. See, so in like most families, they're always hearing like the word no, or we can't afford it. And so when that's like a part of your language or a part of the culture of your family from the beginning, you don't think that there's a possibility for you to do anything different than that. You're always a scarcity mindset. And then if we fast forward to another demographic, divorcees. So we're two divorcees, right, who came together with two different ideologies that had nothing to do with our upbringing. It had everything to do with where we came from.
Yeah.
And so if her ex-spouse and my ex-spouse were different in money, and then we in this protective mode about our finances, or how much legal fees cost, we definitely not going to be ready to do great things at that point. We're trying to pick up the pieces. So to your point about demographics, that's why I was wondering, like, okay, we can talk to single folks, we can talk to the young kids, we can talk to high schoolers, we can talk to folks past retirement who are trying to figure out what's going on with their money because they didn't make it to do the retirement process, or they didn't work a job that gave them retirement.
Yeah.
We have both of that at our disposal. So if the opportunity arises, we love the one-on-one coaching. But sometimes in the environment of a room, someone will ask a question that somebody has, that's that same question. But when you're one-on-one, they keep it quiet because they're afraid of the fact that they don't know. And I think our company, Storehouse Firm, is built around helping you not feel ashamed that you didn't know.
Yeah.
We didn't know. I mean, we're talking about foreclosures and doggone bad credit and repossessions and just wrong information, right motives, wrong information through major iterations of our life. And we just want to pull that shame away from people so they can just come talk to us, and we're relatable. We're not riding around here in Rolls Royces and you know, not waving and with our nose in the air. We want to get right in the mud with you because we know what that feels like.
Yeah. And that's really real, because I think a lot of people need to know that somebody can walk with them. I think it's great for you to like admire somebody, you know, if they do have the luxury cars, the big house and things like that. But then it comes to a point of, can I not feel that shame with this person and actually have these conversations and sit down and have a step-by-step process to go through? Because you're right, like $25 and $50, I've learned can add up pretty quickly.
On both sides.
On both sides, yeah. And so I think when just that alone, when you can help somebody like understand that, of like, you don't have to have, like you said, like over thousands and thousands of dollars to start somewhere, that, you know, someone is willing to take a step further, right, into that process. Like, I can say for me, right, like, I can save, like, I've been on a journey where I save like $10, like every pay period that I have, right? And I'm like, okay, so as I have to pay less of something that I may be paying on, then now I can invest more into that. And then you can see that grow over time. And not only that, your confidence level is also building as well in that. So for me, like, if anybody is out there, right, like if you only got $5, you know what I'm saying? Start with that and have those conversations. Because again, like the Buckmires, like they're not here to make you feel like you don't know anything, you should know this or that. It's really meeting you where you are. And with the Black and Healthy platform, that is what it's about. It's about meeting you, wherever you are in your journey, you don't have to be perfect. You could have had a ton of money at one point in your life, but you may have had terrible management skills.
Yep.
And now you're back at square one and you just need guidance on building a stronger foundation.
Yep.
This is where you can be in a space to have those conversations with people. And if you're somebody that's never started, you don't have anybody in your family that has ever been able to have those conversations with, again, these are two individuals that can help you to start that journey, right?
Absolutely.
So with that being said, what is the youngest that you would start with?
With parents, obviously, and or in a setting like a summer camp setting.
Yeah.
We've had 5-year-olds.
Really?
In the setting, and so we homeschool our kids. We have 16, 16, 15, 7, 4, and 3.
Yeah.
6 children.
Yeah.
4 of them are being homeschooled. So what I love about what Lisa's doing with them is she's helping me break down concepts and processes that they'll remember. So a 5-year-old is going to hold up his dream money. We give them some dream money. It's a sheet of paper and a cartoon character with $1 million on it. And on the back, they're going to write who they want to help. What parent in survival mode, I guess, is telling or asking their child who they want to help? 9 times out of 10, we as parents, Lisa and I are, and we were in this survival process where we didn't have the imagination,
right?
Because we're so busy trying to get food on the table.
Yeah.
And her single parent journey, trying to inspire our daughter, it's difficult when the lights get cut off, or you gotta, figure out how you're gonna get gas, or school and work and her. So we invite parents to bring their kids to those meetings with us or do those camps with us because we want to help them have better language. Even if mommy and daddy is struggling,
right?
Can you talk to us about what we should do? And we're that voice for the parents if we can be.
Yeah, and I think that's important. I'm not a parent, but with parents, I think even if you don't have the capacity, your child might have the capacity to develop better skills, maybe better than what you have. And sometimes that can turn where your child is helping you out in certain ways, right? And so that's where too, like, I encourage parents of like, even if you're like, I don't have the capacity, at least let me be there for my child, so that 1, they are supported, and then 2, I also know what my child is doing, so that in the case they need parental permission, that they can have that to carry on and to also change that pattern or that cycle within your family dynamic to help the family, right? Absolutely. Because like y'all mentioned, y'all are the older siblings, right? And I can only imagine the pressure that comes with that, of trying to figure it out, growing up with your parents, and everybody's just trying to figure it out, right? But if you can position your child in a different way where they can gradually grow and progress over time, I may not feel as much pressure because they felt supported by their parent, growing up, versus you just gotta figure out you become an adult and you're just doing it and hoping. What's the oldest that y'all have seen before?
Like people our parents' age.
Yes.
Because you have to remember too, that's a generation of people that don't know this information either. And we know they don't know it because we don't know it.
Yeah.
So they didn't know it to teach it to us.
Yeah.
So we've helped both of our parents, as far as their debt, making sure that they have their just have their orders in affair. Like, do they have things to take them post-retirement? Do they have life insurance so that, when they transition, it can be done with dignity? Do they have those things in place? And even more importantly, while they're still on this side with us, that they're living their best lives because they spent so much of their life taking care of us. So now that we're adults, are you in a position now where you can live life for you? So people our parents' age, we've been getting a lot too, because they need the help just as much as we do, just as much as people your age do, and even younger.
Yeah. Think about the dramatic change in the cost of living from when they were raising us to now. I remember seeing my dad grab change out of the ashtray and get gas.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
He will never be able to do that. But then they are also suffering at that same level with the rise of cost of living or inflation. It really just puts them at a disadvantage if they don't have money clarity. We call it financial clarity. We actually stay away from the word financial literacy because it also puts another level of shame on our older population. Like, well, literacy, I can't read.
Right.
I don't know this. I'm going to stay away from it. It's got to be researched. No, a clear plan is what they need to feel they can do.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of us helping our parents. And then that population, 62, 65, 67, which was Social Security retirement age, we with you.
And there's so many changes that are taking place right now with like retirement, Social Security, all the things of cost of living, like you said, is going up. Even like to have a meal, right? For some people that have, like SNAP benefits and things like that. Stuff like that is changing for a lot of families as well to manage all of this. And unfortunately, a lot of people imagine their lives going a different direction. They worked for so many years, they saved up, and then now we've come to a place where it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
And so my question for the government is like, hey, what's the cap? How much higher are we gonna go? Because I don't want to. I need us to say, okay, let's stop here.
Okay.
Let's not, because I'm just imagining like how, I know we've come, from, we have gradually grown over time. But today it just seems like it's ridiculously high.
Okay.
It just doesn't seem realistic for a lot of people. And so I'm wondering, like, in the future, will there be a shift? Like, we just reset this whole thing? Or is it just going to continue to grow? Which, that seems like it's more realistic.
Possibly.
But considering the state of our world right now, it's like you really don't know what's going to happen.
You don't. But you're doing what our clients do right now. You're in a state of catastrophizing. And so it's great that you identify that there is something wrong with the system. But you got to control your controllables.
Right.
And so what we end up doing is reeling. I want you to vent that frustration because it's viable and it's tangible. I can feel things. Also, I'm paying for more, and then I validate it because my paycheck hasn't gone up. So, but what we normally try to do is set a foundation for everybody. What do you know about your money? Do you know how much is coming in? And then how you're getting it? Like, you'd be surprised how many times we sit down with folks and have them analyze their pay stub. And we have to show them, like, hey, did you know this was happening? Did you see this happening? And they're like, I didn't know that they were taking XYZ out for vision. They are. Did you set the right parameters on your W-4 when you got hired? Are you having the right deductions? So right off the bat, if I can help you control the things you control, we're finding money that was missing and you felt it. More, what they call, they say it's, I have more month than I have money.
Yes.
So we're trying to find that for you. So when we feel folks are catastrophizing and they're sitting with us, I want you to get it all out. But then, all right, client, what's coming in? If you don't know that number, that means you've been paying more attention to the news than your stuff. What's going out? Who's charging? This is why she did so well in our budget. Why do I have 2 Netflix and 2 Apple Pays and 1 Samsung and 1 Spotify? Like, why? And then who's double charging and who's increased their that part? if we know what's going out and what's coming in, that's the start. And that's our first and free session with everybody we sit down with, a whole needs analysis. What's happening?
Yeah.
If you don't have those two things done, then I would venture to tell you, just turn the news off and don't listen to CNBC or the banks at this point.
Yeah.
Call your employer, find out what HR said about your check, your health insurance, your deductions. Look at your pay stub. Then go through 30 days of your bill and look at stuff that you really could have done without. Like 3 Netflixes, right?
Right.
At $21.97 a month.
Right.
That's $60 a month times 12 months. That's a lot of missing money.
Yeah.
And that's just one thing you found. Overdraft fees. All types of stuff we've had to do multiple times, and in finding the right system that works for us to track it. But we don't want you to do that in shame. Like, you're not dumb because you just didn't know, or you're just out of control. You're like, I'm trying to figure it out and I'm hungry.
Right. Yeah.
So
don't feel bad that
order Uber Eats while I look at this debit card.
Uber Eats, a lot of people love.
The pandemic put people in DoorDash debt.
Oh yeah.
Complete me. I'm him. I'm DoorDash debt guy. Because the convenience of it.
Yeah.
And the fees on top of it, and I would justify it in that, well, I gotta eat. I'm out. I gotta eat. Or we're not cooking tonight. So what are we gonna do for these kids? Well, we gotta eat. Well, when she sets our budget up, we gotta plan those nights or that slush fund or those days where we don't feel like it, and give ourselves the grace to pocket the miscellaneous funds in our budget for it. So that way you don't feel so crazy when the world is crazy. If your foundation is good, when the world is crazy, you be like, yeah, that's really messed up. Thank God I have an emergency fund. Or thank God I'm like covered with health insurance or life insurance the correct way. So we try to pull y'all off the ledge a little bit.
You know what? I love when people joke though, when they're like, are we going to war, or are there aliens? Because do I need to pay rent? I need to know before I pay rent next month. Because if I pay this money and something happens, I'm going to be
so upset.
So yeah, that's totally real. Of like, sometimes when people draw in a little bit too much, I'm like, okay, we have to zoom out. Let's zoom out on the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
But, I think, like, for myself as a millennial, we thought, like, we were going to have a certain lifestyle. We were like, we're going to graduate from college. We're going to get married. We're going to get a house.
I'm so sorry.
We're going to do all these things.
Yeah, you were the generation that was supposed to have the perfect American dream, right? The house with the picket fence and the 2.5 kids. And Yeah.
Total opposite.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Somebody had a list online of like all the things that happened, like a recession, 9/11, all these different things that has happened before we have become 40.
Yeah.
And we're like, what?
Yeah.
It's tough, but I'm gonna tell you the line that, again, financial clarity will have for folks, and then also the thought behind the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows. So one space that we see not a lot of our community is investments. They are afraid of the market. They're afraid of stocks and bonds. Somebody at the barbershop told them to do some cryptocurrency, the lotus flower thing. And every time, in some way, shape, or form, they've gotten burned because they don't understand the market. From the crash in 2008 of the housing to the pandemic, there's always been ups and downs in the market. What we try to express to most of our clients is that the down in 2008 is not the down in 2018. It's a higher down. That means if I just kept investing, whether it was up or down or not, I'm still increasing in value. I wish if there was a graphic on my finger and I could draw it out, it was like every time there was a down, there was an up that took the next down higher. Over the last 50 years, the market has had at least 10% rate of return, meaning for every $100 you've invested, you at least got 10 back for nothing. Money babies is what we call them. Like, You put money in, it created a baby you didn't have nothing to do with. You just let it sit in the account.
Yeah.
That is what our people need to be very, very conscious of, because you can shrink the wealth gap by staying invested. Not risky stuff, not some stock or some fund that a friend of yours told you about, or some Bitcoin scheme or some Forex drama. I'm talking about staying in the market over time. The folks with the most wealth, even in our community, your Jay-Z's, your Beyonce's, your Dr. Dre's, they've been told to hold. Buy and hold. And that was their longevity and their livelihood. They kept that mantra from 1985, wrapping in the corners or whatever they were doing until now. And they're holding money in these major accounts. Our issue is that we have a societal generational curse of instant gratification because of our culture. We were held back from so much that we want it all now. But we need to not switch our culture response. We just need to switch our money response and be in a delayed gratification process. You will get there. Most millionaires don't even get to their millions until post 40 anyway. So hang on and learn to invest. That's what she teaches when we go through our budgeting process, is you pay yourself first. Verizon is not going to help you retire. All right, so stop buying new iPhones. Unless you are invested. Jordan is not going to help you either. Duke Power won't even help you. So you talked about the $5 and the $10, the $15, $20 that you put away. That's perfect. First thing we tell people to do is pay yourself first, because you will be at the end of your retirement, not anything else you've ever purchased. So.
And I love that, because I'm like just getting into that, right? And I think for me, the one thing, so my dad, I don't know when he did this, but I appreciate it.
Yes, come on, Dad.
So my dad, now look, it ain't a ton of money, but it has been a little more than what I've had. So my dad invested into Pfizer.
Oh, wow.
And so we get these little dollar checks.
Yes. So you're getting the dividends from the stocks.
Yes. And so I forget about the little checks, but I'll have 10 of them. And then I'll go cash them in the bank. Mind you, old checks I just don't think about. But considering, when you're in a tough little spot, and I put those little checks in the bank, and I'm like,
thank you.
Right.
Touch this overdraft for me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So
that's why we say we work with everybody too, because your dad knew to do this for you, and he did that for you. So if you decide you ever want kids, guess what, already.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. My thing is, I'm like, okay, so how can I do this and get a little bit more? You know what I'm saying? Or just to learn about it, because I just know he invested into it. Me and my sister, we get them, and that's it. And that's pretty much it. But I need to learn more into that,
It takes a little bit, but I like to use little stories, right? So it's me, your family, all right? Our families all together, and we're standing in front of 2 elevators, right? The one elevator is going to get us there really quick because it has one cord. It's going straight up. It moves quickly. But it's all your family and all our family.
I have a big family.
On one elevator with one cord.
Yeah.
Next to that elevator, it's going to move a little bit slower, but it's still all our family.
Yeah.
It's 50 cords pulling that elevator up. Just by sheer Black cautiousness, which elevator are you getting on?
It was sturdier.
Yes. Way more cords. So we get in a situation where we'll find an investment product or investment stock, and then we go with that. Everybody told me to go do Disney or go do Apple. That's one cord. Apple has a bad day, it's a wrap for you and your family. But if you put all of your family in this 50 cord, little slow, sturdy, that represents multiple companies at the same time. We call these mutual funds.
Yes.
So you put your money in mutual funds and you let the cords play the game. Apple might have a bad day, but Google won't. Microsoft might have a bad day, but Amazon won't.
Mm-hmm.
And every so often, every floor, you're gaining speed. Not fast, but at least if there's a cut cord, it doesn't crash everything you have.
Right.
That's how we teach our families to invest in the market. You wake up and you check your iPhone, Apple. They have no intention on failing. You brush your teeth with Colgate. So there's Procter and Gamble. All right, you put on your running shoes. There's Nike. You waited for your Amazon package. There's Amazon. None of these companies have an intention on failing, so you invest in them all at the same time in a mutual fund. That's our first strategy in the pay yourself first process when we sit down with our clients.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So if someone wants to step into that process, right, do you encourage them to do their research first, or what's the beginning process? What do they need to show with themselves? What they need to do? How's that work?
We start everybody off with looking at your finances.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so let me preface it by saying when you come and sit down with us, one of the first things we always tell families, like, leave the shame at the door. This is a safe place, because we can't have an honest money conversation if you're coming in here all hush hush because you're ashamed. It's a safe place. We've been through it. So we go through your budget, and I get nosy. Not, okay, so what is that? But did you really need that?
Yeah.
So let's get rid of that. And we'll find that that has to be a starting place, because you have to know what do you have coming in, what do you have going out, and where is it going?
Right.
And a lot of times we find that, one, people don't know truly what's coming in, and even worse, they don't know what's going out.
Not at all.
You because you're paying the bills, so you think you have an effective budget, but no, bills are just being paid. That's not a budget.
No.
And so, like, for us, one of the issues, and I always bring our story in it because we're a real life family going through this, and we have to make adjustments sometimes too. It's like, so why are we spending $400 in groceries, but then we're spending another $400 eating out? Things like that. So when I say get nosy, it's professional, it's polite, but we're gonna get into it because, like, let's make these adjustments. Once we get that down pat, then we need to make sure that you then have the things in place that you need to. So, and this is where Joel shines, because then he'll make sure that you have your life insurance, especially if you have kids or just anybody that you care about, that because we're trying to get rid of this idea of doing selling plates to cover funerals and stuff. And then we teach them how they can create generational wealth out of that life insurance.
Right.
Do you have your investment set up? Because at some point you want to stop working. Not what age the government says you can, but when can you financially stop working? Emergency funds. So he's really good at making sure you have those 3 accounts in place once I get your budget in order. But you're going to start with me first with that budget.
Right. And that's really good. Yeah, I think, because I would be afraid for you to be like, so do you really think you need that? And I would be like, life,
It's just about having honest conversations with yourself too, right? Because we also don't believe in the ramen noodle diet.
No.
Okay.
Because we really only have this one life to live, so we want to enjoy it.
Right.
But enjoy it within the budget.
Right.
Right.
That's real. And that's real. That's really real. I think for me, because I love to shop, I'm not gonna lie, I like to do it.
Right.
But then I've had those moments when I see how much I have spent, and then I'm like, I could have put that into this, and not realizing how much that was, right? And I'm like, dang, I could have saved that up, and that could have gone towards this, or it could have gone towards that instead to help me move further in my financial journey that I actually want. So now that I have now come into this new age of my life, my focus is completely different. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happens when you come into your mid-30s. Some people can relate, but it's just this change has happened for me personally. And I think also too, seeing my parents that are now retired, it's like, hey, you gotta do something different.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because like you were saying, your parents have worked for so long. And for me personally, I want them to be able to sit back, and by the grace of God, they have retirement, right? That they work for and so forth. But as their child that they've sacrificed so much for, I want to give back to them. So it's like, get it together. is how I feel right now, personally. And I'm sure, you know, other people feel that way too. But yeah, so I'm just like baby steps. Like, okay, do you really need that? Okay, give it some time. Like, think about it. I'll tell myself to like think about it. If it's still there when you come back to check it, consider it. And then I'm like, okay, but you don't want to be in debt no more. So is this helping? Is this putting you back in debt, or is this putting you forward into the direction you want to go in? And so I have to have those conversations with me a good few times.
Oh yeah,
a good few times, because there was a good coach person I wanted so bad, and I didn't do it. But yeah, like I had to talk myself off of that ledge.
I think we're good at this because in fitness, when we were in our best shape, we would take the approach of not saying I don't want to eat the cake. We would say I want to eat the fruit. And in finance, it's the same way. You want that coach purse, and you could allocate it in a budget in some way, shape, or form. And that's the I want to eat the fruit. I'm going to do the right thing and still feel good about what decisions I made. But most of us will revert back to, oh, I shouldn't spend that, or I spent that. And then you're back into what Lisa would call the shame of your budget, or the shame of spending. Hey, it happened. It is what it is. You ate it, you put it on, you gave it, it's gone. The restart is, if you want to continue doing that, something else in your budget needs to shift. It's like little levers. If I want more of this, I got to give less of that. If I want less of this, I got, and we play that game until you feel like your budget has a destination. So if it's destination home, destination better credit, destination new car, destination building a business, then we allocate for that in the budget. So when you go back and look at the end of the month, and after she's run you through to make sure you're going to stick to it, I get a chance to fill in the gap of the things that are your hopes, goals, and dreams. Part of that is I retire with dignity. I don't have to work for anybody. If I die, my family is left a legacy, and in the in-between, I can hit my small goals and be perfectly okay with spending the money. The coach bag is now a business expense. It feels good, and it is adding value to what I do. So, and that's another demographic that we talk to a lot is our small business owners. They and we need the most help financially, because there's new rules in business finance that start in personal finance, and that's discipline and watching. You gotta look and see and check and hit your benchmarks there. Bad personal finance will leak into bad business finance, and it happens. We did it. Commingled funds, robbing my home Peter to pay my business Paul.
That's right.
Those things happen, but they don't have to stay that way. And one of the easiest ways we do that is we make sure your personal finance is dialed in. And then you just duplicate that in your business finance. Don't be afraid to tell opportunities no that are going to cost you. And don't also be afraid to take on opportunities that are part of your investment process. And it's one of the best classes I think we give outside of the kids one. Our business academy is so much fun, because we want you to think about scaling and hiring and putting people in position. We don't want you to be 50, 60, 70 years old, still cutting hair and braiding hair with your arthritis hands. Right?
Oh my gosh.
If Jasmine, let me tell you, if they come to Black and Healthy and be like, here's 50 mil, ma'am, that's what you did this for. You built a network to be free of the work, not to be here and you're 90 years old working through because you have to. You want to interview people, scratch that. They're going to interview you because of your success at that point.
So, and you'll be on the beach too.
And come meet me in Maldives. This is where I'm at this week. So you got this.
And I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, indeed.
But along that journey, like I think that's very important to mention. Like as a small business, like it's a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Because when people still don't understand the vision, right? I've learned that a lot of people have been doing what they do for so many years, and then it's just like 10, 20 years later, they finally get that moment and it just like takes off. But it's like, but what I was doing this whole time up until was intense.
Yeah.
And I think for me as a person, right, is when I become wealthy, because you gotta speak it,
Indeed.
right? Because I know it's gonna come. Is I don't want to be the person that has a facade of being wealthy, right, or enriched.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be the person that's on the back end, oh, I'm scrambling here and I'm scrambling there to make it work. It's like, no, I actually have my foundation that got me to this point.
Absolutely.
And when things get bigger or the fire spreads, like, I'm still in a place where I can manage it.
Yeah.
Versus I've been faking this whole time. And now it's all coming out on the news.
Right.
And this, that, and third. Somebody's trying to check you, trying to figure out, how did she get to this, that, and third? And it's like, here you go.
Absolutely.
This is what I did.
There's a difference between talking about your money and having people in your money business.
Exactly.
And so people get into your money business when they start to see through your cracks, especially if you have business partners. And the first thing that happens to small businesses is that the partners aren't secure in the stability or the growth of the business. But that's because the owner never set a foundation, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right on that.
Yeah. And this, look, it's a journey. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Like, at all. It looks good. It sounds good. But the reality of it is that discipline, I've learned that the difference between me and someone that is well along on their journey is that a lot of times, 8 times out of 10, they were way more disciplined. And like you're saying, of what that feeling of gratification, that fast feeling of gratification, like that is a thing, for sure. And it's just a matter of keeping that big picture in mind.
Absolutely.
And I think for me, like, I see the stuff, I see the visions, and I'm like, okay, God, why do you keep giving me this? And you know, like, where I am. And so that is the part of, you gotta take these baby steps before you can get there. Because if I fast forward you there, you're gonna be right back where you were. And that was your opportunity.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take this little baby steps and ready to be solid in that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to do it by yourself. See, that's the beauty is we have advisors. We see them maybe once a quarter, and they're in Chicago. They're next to the Fidelity office.
Wow.
So not only do we get a chance to pop in and hear from Fidelity and Vesco and all these major places like Franklin Templeton and Voya, we have advisors who make great money but didn't. And so we wanted to mirror their process, not their lifestyle, more their process. What was priority for you in the beginning? And as business owners, what is priority for you now? And so that helps us. And for even the listeners, like, you need a trainer, right? You need a fitness coach, you need a financial coach, you need a trainer. And the number one thing I think that sets us apart is that we don't charge. We don't charge you to sit with us. Okay, we don't charge you to do any of the crazy stuff that you heard other people do. You need to come do our mastermind for $1,000 and do a 5-day, 3-day course and get your LLC and go. None of that. Our strategic advantage is that we have business partners and other companies that we're attached to, so that we want you to send your money or plant your money in your insurance. Don't give it to me. Get life insurance. Don't give it to me. Pay your credit card off. Don't give it to me. Put it in your kid's 529 college fund. Those companies we introduce you to, they pay us. So we're about pulling that corporate money down and spreading it across the processes of a client meeting or a business client meeting or a family meeting with 2 5-year-olds, twins, or 6 kids like us. Why are you paying for this information that can be readily looked up? And God's just blessed us enough to where we're not commission based. We don't have to run for quotas. So we can take our time and sit down with you and help you make your decision from A to B. But then when we send you in that direction, you're not getting a cost, you're getting an investment. You invest in each one of these areas, they pay you back, and the companies we partner with pay us for introducing you to that process. We are truly brokering your financial clarity.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's real. And so what would you, if a person in here, anything in this conversation, right, what's the one thing that you want them to take away from this?
I got it. I feel, I know you have it, and I know you have something that's been on your heart about it, but just because of the climate we're in today, and you talked about war and inflation and stuff. Today, I would want them to hear that you are in control. It may seem like you are out of control, but it's only because you're thinking about the things outside of your control. I want you to think about who pays you right now. Your employer pays you. That's your first business. You've been contracted to your job to do that job, and they pay you. You need to hone in on what they're paying you and all your benefits and everything that you get. Step one. Number two, you need to find out what is leaving your house. Like how much money is leaving your house that you're aware of and unaware of. If you can do those two things today, right now, that's over 75% of the battle, because most of us, like, we ignore credit scores because we don't want to look at them. We cover our eyes to stuff we are afraid of, are unsure of, or ashamed of. And we keep covering our eyes to the budget, covering our eyes to our income, covering our eyes to opportunity, and then opening our eyes to the calamity. You definitely won't get ahead. You will be stuck in the same circle of survival your parents were in, and their parents were in, and their parents were in. And then when you talk to your children, those words "no" or "I can't afford it" are going to come up, even though you probably could, if you just pay attention to your circle, your space, what you're in. So that would be my heart of hearts thing for folks to do today, because despite what's going on, wealthy people are still investing. They're still throwing money in the market. What would you think, say, Lisa?
So a couple years ago, I read a paper called The Road to Zero Wealth. And so I would encourage every Black family to read that paper. And basically it's just saying, it's breaking down how the average wealth of Black households by the year 2050 is going to be zero. And that doesn't sit right with me. We have been through too much for too long for them to tell us that that's going to be our outcome. And I say them because I'm like, we can change this. And you have two people here sitting with you in Black and Healthy that are giving you the tools and resources to tell you how you can change it. And depending on where you are in this journey, like your parents might not make $1 million in their lifetime, but you can.
That's right.
Which means that then your kids can make 2 million. Like, there's no reason for this to be our path. And I refuse to believe that it is.
Right.
We're still at a point where we can really change that, but we as a community have to decide that we want to change that. And so now you have the Storehouse Firm as a resource, and we're telling you, come sit with us. Let's start you off at the basics and tell you how to make sure that you're not going to be one of those households with zero wealth, with $0 wealth, because that, to me, that's crazy.
Right.
And I refuse to accept that. So I'm going to tell everybody, talk to Jasmine at Black and Healthy, and then come on over to the Storehouse Firm. And let's get started, and let's change that trajectory for our families.
Absolutely.
I love that so much. So with that being said, how can the people get in contact with y'all?
All right. So a few different ways. You can send the words clarity to info@thestorehousefirm.org. That's it. Don't send your story yet. Don't Joel, Lisa, don't just send the word clarity to info@thestorehousefirm.org. We're both on social media, but Instagram, it's the Storehouse Firm LLC. And then I'll give you the number that can be text, and then I can filter that in. It's area code 864-875-4667. And same thing, just send clarity and your name so I know it's you, right? But that's the best way to reach us. We are on TikTok individually underneath our own names. But we do have a seminar coming up. We'll be doing the Black Coin Reboot. If you connect with us, we'll get that to you. Also, Black and Healthy will have that on their calendar as well.
Right.
Food will be provided. But we've done something I think no other financial company has been able to do, which is host people for 100 straight days. So January 5th, Lisa and I launched the 100 Families 100 Days Challenge. And from January 5th to April 15th, we've been sending families small messages every day to help them reset how they think about money. Nothing really crazy to do, just reflective journaling. That day, those families are all going to meet us, along with the ones that help hit us up in the middle of the 100 days, like on day 28 or day 44. And we're all going to sit down and just enjoy what we've done for ourselves in the first 100 days. Even we are doing the challenge.
Yeah.
So that way we can have a real conversation with them that day. Nothing for them to buy, nothing for us to sell. Just a Black Coin Reboot Family 100 Days reflection. And from that point on, they'll be a part of our first founding families, and they can continue pushing that on from there. And of course, we're going to launch some small things like a little calendar that you can download on your phone, and reflective voices. We'll do some video work for you all later, but right now we want you to control your controllables.
That's right.
Yes, indeed.
So make sure y'all utilize the resource that is offering all these great things to you, right? This is what they are here for. They are here to help you no matter what state you are at.
Right.
Take the chance to reach out and have a conversation. If you need a friend with you, need a family member with you, bring them too. You can do it together, right? But not doing it at all is not acceptable anymore. Okay, we have too many resources. We have access that we're creating for ourselves, right? To help each other out, and it's very important for us to defy the odds.
Absolutely.
Right? We've been doing it forever anyway.
Yes, indeed.
So why not continue, right? With wealth. And so with that being said, thank y'all so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us. This was awesome.
And also connect with the Black and Healthy podcast on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Connect with us on Instagram and Facebook. And check out the Black and Healthy website at www.blackandhealthy.com. And as Joel mentioned, make sure you check out the community calendar where you can find their event that is coming up. And also, if you are an organization or you are looking for a business such as the Buckmires at the Storehouse Firm, you can find them on the community directory. So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.